Hi, hello everyone. I was looking at the chat and I saw so many familiar names. So thank you guys for participating in this presentation and attending. So I'm going to start by doing a little mentee meter activity. So if you're using your phones, you can scan the QR code and enter the code that you see on the screen. If you prefer to use the link, we can share it in the chat, and then just enter that same code. And once you do that, we are gonna see like how the screen is gonna populate with your answers to the question that will pop on your screen. So I'm gonna go and leave the screen to go to the Mentimeter icebreaker. Here we go. And so what words do you associate with reading? Here we go. We have education, comprehension, independent, decoding, learning, books. Wow. Strategies, enjoyable, beach, yes. Speed, words, relaxing, imagination, education, summary, fluency, challenging, persistence, important, and main ideas, syllables. Yes, thank you. These are like, again, a lot of the words that come to mind, and we want our learners, as everybody knows, to become good readers, because as we know, reading is really important for ESL and adult learners in general. Let me just fix my screen a little and present again. So why is reading important? It's because, well, actually, before I do that, these are the items in today's presentation. So we're going to talk a little bit about reading strategies. I'm going to be introducing Perusall in case you don't know what it is, or if you've used it before, maybe just to get a refresher. And we're going to talk about the reading activities that I've used in my classroom. They're regular reading activities, we all know, but how to use them in Perusall to engage learners in reading. And talking about many other features that Perusall has that may be beneficial for teachers and students. And again, reading is really I think it's one of the most important skills that our students need to become better at in ESL. According to Perusall, so this is the number they came up with, that on average, when students have to do reading activities on their own, between 20 to 30% complete the assignments. The rest of the students don't, or they do half of it, or they don't even engage with the reading activities. And from experience as a teacher, I've noticed like not all my students would be coming to class prepared or have done the reading assignment that they have to do at home. And reading assignments are really important. This is when they, learn to do certain things. They have to do those reading strategies. They have to improve, their reading comprehension. And if they don't practice the reading, they're not going to improve. And the thing is, the reading strategies that we all know that we all use to help our students become better readers are those like pre-reading skills, such as skimming and scanning, and and then looking while they're reading, looking for certain information, deeper information, answering questions, looking for vocabulary words, context clues. And then at the end, when you want to evaluate their reading, you want to see that they understand, you use like discussions, you have them answer questions. I like to use summaries, I find summaries are a good way to get students to show me if they understood the reading. So if students are not reading at home, or if they're not reading independently, what happens is when you are doing these activities to build these strategies, they're really not there. Like, they are not engaging with the text, they're not engaging with the activities, or they're not doing well. So how do you make sure that when they're reading independently, they are actually doing the reading you want them to do? And I found that Perusall, which is like, if you've used Kami before, probably Kami is one of those platforms that you can upload a reading assignment to, and you can have students engage with it. However, I've always found it a little cumbersome, and I find Perusall is a little bit more like streamlined and easier to use. It is, after all, an e-reader, and it integrates with LMSs, so it can integrate with Blackboard. I think it can integrate with Google Classroom. I'm not sure, but it does. Like, I know that they do integrate with Blackboard if the institution has it added as as a system and within Blackboard. And what it does, it really does engage learners because they interact with the text. It allows them to do activities such as annotations. They can comment on, on each other's posts. You can comment on their posts. You can leave questions within the comments and have them answer back. And everything is shareable, and everybody sees everybody's inputs. The other thing, it is great because it does encourage collaboration between learners, so learners can work together to do something if you are leaving that instruction for them to do, which you're able to. And it also allows them to do reflections. Can they, did they understand? Did they not understand? What was hard about the text? You're also able to give them feedback on their posts, on their, whatever comments they put in. And finally, you're able to assess. You can see by using certain, like having them engage in, like, for instance, summaries or doing discussions and seeing their comprehension. So it's really a great tool that allows you to engage in all these really important learning steps. So the features that allows you to do that, for instance, the feature that allows you to exchange ideas is comments. And this is like where everything is in line, it moves with the text, and I will show you how that works. And you can post questions in there, and students can reply to the questions. Students can reply to each other. You can comment on the students' comments. Students can also annotate using the comment feature. So they can highlight, they can underline, and then put a little comment on why they did that. And it is public, so everything they post is viewed by everybody in the classroom. The other feature is notes, and this is more of a private, it can be private, so students can do it on their own. It can be shareable, so students can invite others to see their notes. So this is great if you're doing like a little group work. Teachers also able to, like students can invite the teacher if the teacher wants to see what's going on. It's really a great tool to annotate if students feel comfortable doing their own annotations. So this is also a great tool to use. The other thing that allows collaboration is groups. And this is great because it is teacher accessible. So teacher can just pop into the group and see what's going on. It's a chat room almost. So students are like sitting in a room chatting, talking about maybe a topic that you're, discussion topic that you want them to chat about. So it's all online. And it does promote collaboration. So if you want them to work together to create a summary of the text, then they can actually, this is a great, area for them to use to do collaboration. So before I move, well, actually, one more feature that I want to talk about is, before I move to the actual perusal that you can go in and see, the other feature is Read Aloud, which is built into Perusall, and it allows students to click on the little microphone and hear the text being read to them. So I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Oh, I guess it's not. Oh, hold on a second. Did it work? Oh, it's not working. Sorry. Oh, we just tested it. It was working before. No, it's not. Okay, so I wanted to show you how to do them. It's just a little microphone on the side of the screen that allows students to listen to the text being read to them. So before I move to the next, which is getting you to explore Perusall and join this the activity that I created, I want to see if there's any questions before we move to the next step in the presentation. So, okay. All right. I think we're good. So if you're able to use your screen to go to perusall.com and then enroll in a course, well, you will need to create an account first. So I'll give a minute for you guys to see if you can create an account and enroll in the course, and then enter the code that you see right here. And then you'll be able to see this course that I have I'll be showing like how we did the activities within it. You're welcome to, copy if you want to copy the course, if you're planning to use it. It is within a class that I taught, which was a targeted ESL class for advanced level students. But you're welcome to explore it. What levels? Oh, here we go. What levels are best for this? The thing with Perusall is, I think students need to be a little, savvy with technology. So if you have students who need some digital literacy, they don't, they're not at the level where they're able to create an account and join a class, that will be harder. As for like level of English, if that's, I think it can be done with different texts. So whatever texts you're using, so if you have like an intermediate level student, and you can actually use the text if you're able to scan it and upload it to Perusall. So it should be okay. I think the literacy factor is the hardest part of it, of using Perusall. So it is also used as for content learning and teaching. So it's used in biology, math, sciences. So it's not only limited to English. So I adapted it to use it in my ESL classroom, but it's being used at many other universities and schools as the content platform. Like they use it for math, for science, for even medical schools. So it really, it's a popular tool. So I'm gonna move to the activities that like how they are built in. So as you see here, this is a comment that I would create within the text, and I would direct the students to do something. So the text, they see the text on the screen, and then they see the comment on the right side of the screen. And for instance, this is a pre-reading question asking them to explore the text before they start reading, looking at the photo, reading subtitles, the title, trying to infer or guess at what the text is about. So doing like this kind of activating prior knowledge and getting students to get interested in the reading. And it's done within the text itself. So you're reading the text and you're seeing the question on the same screen. And for instance, going again, doing an activity where students have to do like an activity while reading, for instance. Here, you want them to find keywords, or you want them to look for a main idea. Again, putting the prompt, including it in the comment section, and having students, you know, as they read the question, and then they try to actually answer that question in the comment section. So here I actually would like to get you guys to kind of guess at what does this what does this activity want students to do. So for instance, this one, number 3 here, scanning. What is the main idea in paragraph A? So what is this trying to do? Anyone can guess? I guess scanning for main idea. So this is something that's very obvious. Number 4 is, the question is, how can people train their brain to control their fear? So here, this question is aiming to, like, just looking for answers, the comprehension question, getting students, you know, to like look for it, for particular information within the text to answer a particular question. In this one here, the students are asked to actually create a set of questions. So instead of answering questions, they have to create questions, and then they have to answer each other's questions that they post in the comments. So this is really kind of you're getting students engaged in more critical thinking and getting them to be not only answering questions, but on the part of creating the questions, and thinking about how, you know, like the content in a different way. And then finally, just doing like a regular sequencing activity where you put information that is like jumbled or puzzle or something, and then having students sequence the activities, sequence the sentences in order, you know, from first to last. It's a sequence of events or whatever it is that you want to do. And it's all like done within the comment section of the perusal or of the reading. The other thing is, and again, here, my video is not working. Nope, sorry. Okay, so the other thing that is really great with Perusall is being able to focus on vocabulary, which is really important, you know, in growing the students' vocabulary and getting them to understand how do we get, you know, clues from within the text to understand the vocabulary. And again, everything is written in the comments, and students will just look. The text is highlighted, so if they click on it, it will actually point to the highlighted text. So if they click on this part here, it will point them to the question. So, you know, like the comments and the text are become related, you know. So if they move anywhere in the text and they click on any points that has been highlighted, it will immediately take them to the question that is in the comment section. And then finally, using the notes with the vocabulary, if students want to create their own list of vocabulary words that they want to study, the notes is a great place to do that. And it also links to the text. So it actually, if they highlight part of the text, it creates a note for them to see on the side. And so that way they can focus on that vocabulary word a little bit away from the text. And then finally, you know, how do we assess? How do I find out that my students are understanding and you have engaged within the text? We have like the discussions, we do the summarizing activities. And these activities are really great in that, you know, they can be done within the perusal itself. And so I can continue doing that within the comments. And also I can give feedback within the comments. The option, if you prefer for students to do this on their own, then you can either have them do it in notes and share it with you. So if you don't want them to feel pressure that they have to do everything, you know, open, sometimes students feel pressured, like they don't want to share. So notes is another way for students to create, for instance, a summary and share it with you, or invite you to see it. And then finally, there's a few other features that really I find very interesting in Perusall. The first feature is, well, it's allowed, sorry, I can link the, I can create links to other activities. So for instance, if I have a Quizlet with vocabulary words that I want students to go and review, I can build that into the comments. If there's a Jamboard that I want students to do, also I can use it, and I can provide the link within the Jamboard. How difficult is this for ESOL to navigate through? I've taught intermediate and advanced level students, but this is a targeted advanced, so they're like kind of pre-academic, and they did very well in this. I haven't used it with like a beginner, a high, intermediate, advanced level in the basic ESL program. So I think, again, it's about, it's how digitally literate your students are. And if they're comfortable using technology, that actually will dictate your ability to use Perusall with them. So the other feature that is really great is that, you know, students, like this is an example of what my students did in a class. They were answering a question, and as they were answering, I was giving them feedback. Like if a student didn't had like they had to do a list and put things in order, and one of the students made a mess or did not do it correctly, I just, you know, put in a feedback, like check it again, you know, look for it again. It's not, so kind of giving them that push to look again for information. I have a question here. Oh, you're welcome, Peg. And another feature is, another way also that I've used Perusall is when I want students to look even further. So like providing them feedback where I ask them to, for instance, what else can you infer from this? What else can you? So I want them to think about something a little bit more and go a step further. So, and giving them that feedback, and they love it. Like when I'm commenting, and they always like it. They're like, Miss, you didn't comment. You didn't leave me a feedback. So it's something they're always seeking when I'm doing these activities, that they want that feedback from me. Is Perusall free for students and teachers? Yes, it is. It is free. I can't help it. I see that chat and I'm like immediately want to press read it. The last thing that I want to show you is also Perusall allows you to do analytics to actually see how your students are participating, how many comments they've done. Like this one here, this class, I think this was one of the classes where it was the first time we've used it. So they were not like yet, like they didn't know how to do upvoting and all of that. So this is like something that they're not aware of. Again, digital literacy is playing a part here, but I'm able to see like how many hours they were able to view. So if you see something that says 3 hours and 14 minutes, I believe the student might have left the computer on and went and came back. But at least I know they have been engaged within the reading. They did active reading time. So they actually spent 1 hour and 49 minutes, reading. Like that means, like going over the questions and answering and all of that. So it's really great in that I can track attendance. So I'm making sure my students are, this is a great way to track attendance. And I'm able to view participation. Are they working? Are they not working? Not only, and how much are they engaging with the text? So in conclusion, it is, I find it as a tool out there for teachers, is a great tool, whether you are teaching online or in person. Like even if you're teaching in person, this tool allows you to make sure your students are engaged in their, when they're doing reading at home. If they are able, if they have the access to the technology and the computer, they're even an iPad. So the thing is about Perusall, it does work on iPads and iPhones. Of course, with the iPhone, the font is going to be just an issue. However, it's not like it works on it. So they're able to view the text, and they're able to actually type their answers and comments and do everything that they can do on the computer. It's just that using that phone screen might be just annoying. But I've used it on an iPad and it worked really nicely. I've used it on Chromebooks and I've used it on regular computer and it really worked very well. So I'm 1 minute left. My gosh, that was quick. If anybody has any questions, please send, you can put them in the email now, or you can always email me. I would love to answer any questions you have. This is a great tool. It's really wonderful. And it does build that independence that we want our students to have, becoming independent learners. It does help with the reading strategies, collaboration, engagement. So it has like all these really important things that we need when we are doing reading activities with our students. And finally, thank you so much for attending. And I'm gonna put my email in the chat in case you guys wanna reach out to me. Feel free to do that. And thank you so much for coming to this presentation.